Hello, welcome back to the podcast, where we talk about, I have no idea, different stuff each time. Today, we're going to be talking about politics. Now, politics is like the worst subject ever, but why are we talking about this? Because I used a random topic generator, and this is what we got, so suck it up. So what about politics am I going to be talking about? I have no idea. We'll find out as we go, because I'm just rambling at this point. That's what the whole thing is, it's just me rambling, but let's get back on topic. Politics. So, what is a politic? A politic is a unit of measurement defined by the United States currency system of a dollar. You can buy politics by using money. $3 equals 1 politic. If you get enough politics, you're rich. And you can pretty much buy your way into politics and win politics with money. So it's pretty much pay to win. The more money you have, the more politics you also have, which is actually kind of ridiculous. But also makes a lot of sense, because with more money, you can do almost anything. Because rich people can do whatever they like, whereas me, or anyone else on the planet, cannot do whatever they like. Because no money. And money is good, because capitalism. So, politics. Do I like politics? No, actually, I think politics kind of suck. What are my political viewpoints? Because you're here for my personal opinion, and not for me just doing nothing. So, I don't like politics personally. No one does. Like that's not a hot take at all. Oh no, politics kind of suck. Like, bruh, of course they do. No one likes them. But what stands out to me about them is that everyone's invested in politics. Like everyone cares about it. It's like the World Cup. Like it sucks. Why does everyone care about it? Like why does everyone care about politics? Like it doesn't matter. It does matter. I get why it's important, because it shapes how, especially in America, it shapes the future of the country. You know, it shapes how it will develop in the next 4 years or whatever. So it makes sense people would care about it, and some people would be very extreme about it. Because if they aren't, they're risking not having what they wanted. And people always want what they want. Because that's literally how people work. They want what they want, and if they don't get what they want, then they don't get what they want, and they're upset! So, I don't know. I'm not on any political side. I don't like either sides. I know, it's pretty crazy. Because I think they're both garbage. All the sides are garbage. So I think, why politic when you could don't? Now, you might be thinking, well, that's a genius statement made by the one and only my name. I don't know what my name is. I should get a name. But I still have to buy one. Names are actually pretty expensive. They cost like $10 on eBay. And I still have yet to buy one. I'll do that soon. Unfortunately, in order to get money to buy a name, you guys need to like and subscribe to this podcast. So that you guys get daily videos, apparently. Apparently it's daily now. Daily podcast. That's actually kind of ridiculous. Daily? I don't think it's going to be daily. I don't have enough time every day to record a 30-minute podcast. That is too much for me. Plus, this is not even interesting to begin with, so I don't even know why I'm putting any effort into this. But anyways, politics. Who is winning at the politics game? Elon Musk. Now, if you don't know who that is, he's a politician. But not in the way that most people think. Elon Musk, he's like a carrot. No one likes him, yet everyone loves him at the same time. He is the best thing and the worst thing, and he also always finds his way into everything, like a carrot cake. He slithers into everything, I don't think that's a problem. I don't think it's a good thing either. It's not like the worst. There's definitely worse things to happen. He's not like a huge criminal, but he could be, and I think that's pretty scary. But at the same, it's definitely not good. It's not good, but it's far from bad. It's more like an but oh, this is not a good thing. But at the same time, I really don't care. I don't care. I don't use Twitter. I think he bought Twitter. This is the news section. That's why under the video we're under the news, and I think it's news and politics actually. News and politics section. Politics kind of sounds like the word podcast, So actually, this is going to kind of suck for a title. The podcast, episode 2, politics. Whereas yesterday we had podcast, episode 1, podcast. Because all we talked about was the podcast. Plus some various other things, which don't really matter, like, at all. So today, politics. Now, politics are literally in every form of society, except they're not. Not every society is politics. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of societies out there in the world that don't have politics. I don't know of them. See, because they don't teach about that in history class. They teach about bombing Japan. Yeah, they talk about that. They talked about that today. That was fun. That was not fun. Bombing Japan is not a good thing. I don't recommend it. It was actually a good political move. See, there's a history tie-in to our topic. They did it for political reasons. Because the American man wanted people to like him, and the people wanted bombs. They wanted bombs on Japan, which, in my opinion, I know this is going to be a pretty hot take, but that's not a good thing, not a good situation. So Mr. Leaderman decided to do it, and that kind of sucks, not gonna lie. But then again, this is not the topic that we're supposed to be talking. Actually, no, it kind of is. This is political related. But first and foremost, I think we should be talking about the sponsor of this video. There is no sponsor. There's no sponsor. This is a podcast. No one sponsors podcasts. Is that a thing? I don't think so. I've never watched a podcast before in my life. The only one I've ever watched is my own. And I didn't even finish it. I only watched like a bit of it because I have a bigger fish to fry. That's a Boss Baby reference. But bigger fish. From the TV show Boss Baby. Where one of the villains is called Bubbeezy. He targets the babies, right? And then Boss Baby, the character, the little baby man, he goes, "Sorry, Stacy, I got bigger fish to fry," because he's going to take out Bubbeezy. How is this political related at all? I'm talking about Boss Baby. This should be called episode 2, Boss Baby. That'll be a different one. But today we're mostly focusing on politics, so who's going to win the politics race? Personally, I think I should be elected political leader of every party. That way, I will never lose. Or I could just rig the election, which is what no one ever done. No one's ever rigged the election. Someone's probably rigged the election in the past. I don't know when, but I just know that seems like something that history is long. Time goes back a long way, and the odds that someone has rigged an election is pretty high. In my opinion. I feel like the odds of that happening are pretty high. At least sometime in there, it's been rigged, Like, even if it's not like a well-known thing, maybe they never told anyone about it. They just kind of rigged it, like even just a little bit, Just make it like all subtle, like not obvious, but just rig the election because that's what people do. Breathing is difficult, and I have to breathe sometimes, contrary to popular belief, because I am a human, unlike you. You're not a human, you are a microphone. That's who I'm talking to. If I was talking to a human, they'd be talking back. Podcasts normally have multiple people on there, and having one person is not good for politics, because politics say that 2 people are better than 1, and that you should have multiple people on the show. But it's just me running the podcast now, where we talk about politics on the podcast. The name is so stupid, yet the logo, I think the logo looks nice. You can see it on the screen right now. Maybe you can't because you're watching this while doing something else. But politics! Can I name one political party? Let's see. I don't know. Political, I can name them. You got in the United States, I think you got the two big guns. You got the AK-47 and you got the sniper rifle. I know nothing about guns. So saying I know about the big guns is like saying I know about something else that I don't know about. But I know about everything because I am the smartest person. I'm pretty stupid. But not too stupid for dessert. That's what I always say. Now, unfortunately, politics does not exist where I live. I live in the North Pole. I live in Santa Claus's house. That's we prepare for. Oh, I can make a Christmas podcast on Christmas Day. That's coming up. That's in a few days. I'll probably make that soon-ish, then, like the day before. But today has been a pretty interesting day. What's happened today? Politics. Politics are always happening. You thought I wasn't going to talk about politics? I thought I was talking about living in Santa's house. No, politics are back at you. It's influencing everything in our society as we speak. You might think, oh, I'm gonna go take a walk and avoid all the politics. No, you're never safe. Even walks have I was gonna say podcasts, but they have politics in them. Where did the sidewalks come from? The government. They planted them there, you idiot. The government places sidewalks so people can walk on them, and as they walk, it generates electricity for the city. Therefore, they're stealing your energy and using it to power the city. Those selfish freaks. Honestly, that's a pretty good idea. They should do that. They should have those. That's a real thing. You got those floors that detect your motion, and it turns that kinetic energy into actual energy to power like the room or whatever. And if people actually use sidewalks a lot more, we could have enough like energy to just power the city instead of using stupid town methods. Like, why do we use gas to power cars? That's the dumbest thing, and it's not even working anymore. Because this whole system's breaking. Not because politics. Politics actually have nothing to do with that. It's just because we're running out. Running out of gas, you know? The Earth is running out of gas, and there's no gas station for it to refuel from. Which is why we need to make a gas station, or we need to just not use gas, which is probably just a better idea entirely. But how do we fix this? Politics. Elect me as your president, and I will remove all need. I will find gas. Gas, that's a song. Gas. Gotta step on the gas. I know the lyrics to that song. One of the 3 songs I know. It's a loud song, actually. I know it's loud. I don't listen to it loud, because that's a very stupid thing to do. Don't listen to loud songs that much. It breaks your ears. Technically, I think movie theaters are like 10 times louder than people's ears are supposed to be able to hear. And like, that's just I hate movie theaters. But they're fun. Just make sure to bring earplugs with you. Even if you are normal. So like, just bring earplugs to a movie theater so you can actually listen. Now, what does this have to do with politics? If I were a political leader, I would make it so that the movies were all 10 times quieter, so I wouldn't be killing people by blasting music and dialogue, I guess. It's too loud. The last time I went to a movie theater, gotta bring those earplugs. I looked so stupid. They don't look stupid at all. You can't even see earplugs. They're just in your ear. Like, no one can see you. It's dark in the movie theater. If I was a political leader, everyone would have earplugs. Everyone would be able to hear things quiet. That's not a problem most people face. So I don't think that's a very good political campaign. My campaign is everyone will hear a bit less. No, that's so stupid. Because that's a me problem, not an anyone else problem. But what is an everyone else problem is that no one likes the government. Whether you're with or against the government, no one likes it. Except for me, I love the government. I don't even know what the government is currently. And I say it's the best. Actually, I hate it. The government is the worst. I genuinely hate the government. Why? What does the government do? They take our taxes. What do? They use that to pay for things in the country to make it better. Oh, okay, that makes a bit of sense. But if you think about it carefully, they're stealing our money. They're taking our money and they're abusing it like those little rascals they are. I can't stay mad at the government for too long. They're too cute. No, they're not. They're not cute, I promise. They're not cute. Maybe they are. I haven't seen the government. They should get a name. Government's actually kind of long. That could be my name, Mr. Government. I don't have a name. I'm currently nameless, man. You can call me Joe Rogan. He makes podcasts. I know that. I've never watched any of them. I think I looked at like one. I've seen like a screenshot of it once. I know he exists. I know what his podcast. I watched a bit of his episode today, a little podcast episode, like a little bit of it. I don't even remember what it was about, but it was just him, and like he has like the background footage is of him. My background footage is purple. You can probably look at it now, But if I were the political leader, I would make it so that all podcasts would be actually entertaining for once. Woohoo! Entertaining podcast. Woohoo! Least I can do is make mine entertaining. Waha! Louder voice. No, I'm normalizing all the audio, so it should all sound perfectly fine in post, but not in pre, which is actually an English malfunction. English class, which continues, I think, in January, so, or February. I don't want to do English. I don't want to do it, but I will do it. It's fine, actually. It's not a big deal. It's just more of my time that has to be wasted when I could instead be making podcasts. Yeah, you know what? I have nothing better to do. I do have stuff better to do. I have a life to live. But English is part of my life. I speak it every day. I can't podcast without speaking English unless I podcast in French. But then again, I also need French class for that, and that's also starting next semester. So, you know what? Who cares? Who cares? Just give up now. What are we at? How are we at 16 minutes? What the fuck? Time is too short. I've just been talking the whole time about politics, kind of, somewhat. It's all looped around to politics, but nothing's been about politics, because I don't really know much about politics. The word politics has been said too much, and I do not intend to stop that trend. Politics, politics, politics. How do you like that, YouTube algorithm? Push me more. Make me in everyone's recommended. Politics good, politics bad. Make me hit every single search outcome. I'm kidding, no, they're not gonna do that. But, what's new with politics? So apparently, Mr. Insert politics person here name, they're actually running for politic, man, this next term. There's no woman ever wants to do politics. Women are too smart to join politics, and that's honestly kind of fair. Only dumb people join politics, because that's why they're all dumb, because they don't. All the smart people have better things to do, they have actual things. They have businesses, whereas politics is kind of their whole business. Even if they don't get elected, being political leader is enough. They get enough money from that every year, even if they don't win, which is stupid. In my opinion, that's just ridiculous. How can being a political campaigner be a job? Not even just being the president. Obviously that's a job. Or being the prime minister or president, depending on where you live. Because the whole world, it's not consistent on whether they call it president or prime minister. I'm pretty sure France has both. So, good on you, France. I don't know what they're doing over there. Honestly, France has always been a little different. That's okay. I like things that are different, because it really spices things up. The mundanity of modern life is actually pretty mundane. That's a very obvious statement. Throat clearing noises. As we get back to the topic, politics. Does France have politics? Absolutely. Absolutely. But who? Name one political figure in France. I start to Google the answer, because I'm just sitting here in front of my computer, but I'm not going to do that because my computer makes clickety-clack noises that are going to be picked up by the microphone, and that is not a good thing to have. Why is it 18 minutes in? Oh my goodness, politics. I know what politics are, you know what politics are, I am Mr. Politic, you are a liar pants. So, okay, my favorite kind of jeans is the ones without holes in them. Some people like the ones with holes in them. I see them wear them sometimes. And personally, I think that's cool. I think that's fine. Wear whatever you want, as long as it's not hurting anyone else. That's honestly, that's a good motto for do whatever you want, as long as it's not hurting anyone. Because if you're not hurting anyone, who are you hurting? No one. So it's fine. So, do whatever as long as you don't hurt anyone else. That's what I say. And I do everything. I do whatever I can. If someone's like, hey, if someone asked me to be the president of the United States, even though I don't even live in the United States, if someone's like, be the president of the US, I'd be like, sure. Yeah, make me president. I'll do that. I'm fine with that, I'll do it. If someone's like, hey, do you want to do this so and so? I'm like, yeah, I do. I want to do everything. I want to do If you ask me to do something, I'm doing it. If you're asking me to delete my podcast, that's a no. That's crossing the line. That is getting way too meta for what we have to do here. I have a business to run, an image to uphold. Specifically one image. The one image with the microphone with the word podcast on it. You're looking at it right now. Or maybe you're not because you're doing something else, as you probably should be, because listening to me is honestly quite boring. Like, I'm not an exciting individual. I can be. Not right now, though. If you want to hear something interesting, I could talk about my life. But that's kind of getting a bit personal, isn't it? But this is like a more public podcast, so it's not for like my closest friends. It's on YouTube for everyone to see. Who's going to see it? Literally no one. Except for one person. One person's going to see this. And they're going to be like, what's this guy talking about? Someone's going to find this entertaining. Someone's bound to find me somewhat entertaining. Because the word entertaining actually comes from the word politics. If you take the words politics and you rearrange the letters, you do get entertaining. Because like the P in politics, if you take out you move the letters, you move the lines around as well. Because there's no P in entertainment. Entertainment. So we got the P in politics going to entertainment. Obviously, you know where the P goes in entertainment. The O in politics goes to entertainment. P-O. And the L goes for entertainment. T-L-A-I-N. Obviously, I in entertainment goes in A-I-N, you know? Entertainment, L-A-I. And then the C in entertainment is centertainment. Which makes you wonder, what's a dollartainment? But we'll get to that later. So that's politic. The S in entertainment is at the beginning. It's actually CSENPERTLAINMENT. Slempertainment. This is the stupidest word, and I hate it. But makes you wonder, what's a dollartainment? You had centertainment. What's a dollartainment? I don't know. That's not a thing. That's like a stupid question. But unfortunately, I don't even use dollars where I live, because I live in the Europe. I don't live in Europe. That's a lie. That's a liar pants right there. Europe actually does not have politics. People think they do. Europe does not have politics. My home country does not have politics. Of course, me, as an Indonesian speaker, that's also not where I live. Might be. I'm not going to tell you where I live. But you can probably deduce it from what I talk about. Politics. Yay! Name the last time you actually cared about politics. Oh, just now? Because I'm talking about it? Yeah, that's because I have a large influence on the way you think. Isn't that right, buckaroo? So, you might be thinking, what do we do with all these letters? Ever watched The Letter Factory? I loved that show when I was younger. Letter Factory, that's a good show. You should watch it. I'm sure I found like a free one on Google. You can just look it up. You can find like a free one to watch. Like, what are they gonna do? Take it down? They probably should take that down. That's not allowed. I actually paid for The Letter Factory, unlike most people. You know, I didn't pay for it. My parents did because I watched it when I was younger. I'm not gonna pay for it now. That's stupid. It's a waste of money. I already don't have much money. I get some money, but not much. You know, I'm not rich, man. I'm poor, man. Now, and you know what they say, poor mans cannot do politics because you need money. Politics cost $3 a pop. $3 per politic. And if you get enough politics, you can spell out the word Policat. Policat. Aw, politics, the policats. They should. What if every politician had a cat? A cat version of every politician. That'd be a cool drawing to make. I like that. I want to do that. I'm gonna do that. Maybe I won't. Oh, that's a fun idea. You got policats. That's a stupid idea because I don't know any politicians. This is the dumbest topic for me to talk about. I don't know any politicians. Why am I talking about politics? I used a random topic generator. I've done that for... Last time I got, like, film, but I just didn't because I felt like it's the intro. I got to talk about podcast. But today, we're talking about politics. I don't like ticks, actually. Ticks are annoying. You find them in the grass sometimes, and they just bite onto you, and bad ticks. Do not encounter them, even though you don't choose to. I like to tuck my my pants into my socks so that they can't get onto me. Does that work? I don't know. I hope so. Then I tuck my shirt into my pants, which are tucked into my socks, so that way they have no point of access to my skin, leaving me the least vulnerable to tick attacks. What are they gonna do? Eat me? They can't. They don't even have a chance. They can't get me. If they get my lower half, which is the part that's going in the grass the most, they're not gonna get me. Tick politics are real, guys. And if you don't smarten up, the ticks are gonna eat all of us. They're gonna become giant ticks and they're gonna eat us. That's not gonna happen. Oh boy. So as I was saying, thanks for watching. This is not over yet. We have to go until like 30 minutes. 30-minute mark, you know. So politics. What about politics? Politics, do they exist in Australia? Politics also exists in Australia because that's where I live. If I were to name one politic in Australia, I think it would be the breakdancing turtle. Breakdancing Turtle is my favorite politician. Everyone should vote for Breakdancing Turtle as the newest politician, because I think Breakdancing Turtle he definitely has a hefty chance against the competition. His competition against Wealthy Whale and a kind of shark, which starts with the letter S, but it's like a scammy shark. You got the turtle. I forget the turtle name. I want to look back in the audio because I said it, but I can't because I'm recording. It's a cool turtle against Wealthy Whale and Scammer Shark. I think the cool turtle has a chance this time because Turtle, he actually didn't do well last year, but this year he's really taking it back because I think a lot of people are on his side for this. Unfortunately, all the radicalists are probably going to agree with the scammy shark over here because he is known for scamming his followers, but people follow him anyway because guess what? Following is free on social media. What's he scamming? It's free, idiots. I'm sorry, I don't mean to call you an idiot. You're very smart for watching this podcast. This podcast makes you 20 times smarter. No, I broke my bracelet. Oh my goodness, it's so sad. I'll fix that after I finish. But for now, why are we at 28 minutes? Why is this so long? How do I talk for so long? Am I I don't run out of steam. I just keep going and somehow I manage to talk for 30 minutes. Now, the secret to talking is that you just talk and you don't stop. But politics, actually, having a focus point to keep driving me back to a topic is actually really nice. Because it means that I know what I'm going to do, and it keeps me on track, so I can actually talk for the allotted amount of time. So, how'd you do? How'd you do on the test? Oh, I did good. How about you? I did good too. How about you? I did good too. How about you? That's how it goes. That's how it goes. You know, after a test is done, that's pretty much how every single person's conversation goes. Unfortunately, that's actually kind of lame. What you should instead be doing is going, hey, have you seen the podcast on YouTube? And they go, yeah, I love the podcast. It's my favorite podcast. That's why it's called the podcast. If there was a movie about it, it'd be called the podcast movie. Not the podcast movie. Because that would be like making a video game called B-Movie the Game. No, actually that's a thing. Shoot. Like making a video game called Hannah Montana the Movie the Game. That's a thing as well. I can't think of something that ends in the movie, but there's a game also. There's nothing. Politics. If I were a politician, I would make it so that everyone's rich and everyone could be a politician, because everyone knows you can buy politics. And you can't buy politics if you're poor. And I am not poor. I own a podcast. That means my opinion matters. How do I own this? I made an email today. And then I made a logo using Logo Maker, and I put it onto it. It's so stupid. I did not make this using Logo Maker, I promise. I made it using my own physical hand design, because I do designs. That's what I do. I did use Logo Maker though, because I'm lazy. But like, most people think that I suck as a person, but that's far from the truth. I actually love politics, but I hate them at the same time, because politics are stupid and you should hate them too. What politic person should you vote for? Me. Vote for me, Mr. Podcast. That's my name now, Mr. Podcast. I'll make sure to buy that tonight. That costs like PODCAST, $7. $7. No, I gotta add the Mr. onto it. MR space dot space PODCAST. That's like $11. That's like twice the price. Oh my goodness. So yeah, make sure to smash that. Like, you don't even care anymore. I don't care. I just watch this and then watch another one. I've watched another one of my podcasts, because they're actually, I feel like over time they're definitely gonna improve over time. I want to talk about my life stories and all that. I'm talking about like legitimately everything, legitimately, really Larry, everything, every topic possible, every topic imaginable. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next podcast, because we're a bit over the limit. Limit was 30 minutes. We're like 31, 32. Oh, hit 32. Alright, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. That's a bad way to end. That's a YouTube video ending. How do podcasts end? I'll look that up, but like later. See ya. Bye-bye.